Okay, today I'd like to comment a greenhouse sister in Vancouver. She sent me three YouTube links and showing that someone in my home country, very close to where I live, Hegang, a farmer, and he designed a greenhouse that works pretty good in very cold winter, right? In my hometown, the winter time, yeah, it's very extremely cold, -30, -20, that's norm. So anyway, yeah, so for that reason, I like to comment on um, this type of greenhouse and to compare with our parapet greenhouse. Okay, so basically we already made a comment. We made a video to comment two type of greenhouse. One is this type of greenhouse. This is the Canadian farmer. His name is Dong Cai Cai, Mr. Dong. He came up with a greenhouse based on Shouguang greenhouse in Shandong province. Anyway, basically it's a double layer greenhouse uh, um, with the blanket, right? And the mechanism to use blanket during the night and roll up the blanket during the day to to protect, to insulate, right? So basically use blanket to insulate, but the they think they use the this north wall, to capture the solar thermal energy. But we're going to show that's illusion. That's not because the north wall, the capacity for the north wall to absorb and contain a solar thermal energy is not the that big. It's only maybe 20% at the most, because we're going to show a picture, to explain why. But anyway, this is something we already commented. Uh, and also we commented another one.
于彦国就是新温室的发明人，没烧煤，也没用电跟烧油，在这大冷天里，不但没上冻，地温还能够保持在17度以上。于彦国是怎么做到的呢？
我们做过实验，一般的情况下，在哈尔滨地区，如果在1月份到下午1点钟的时候，阳光充足，表面的温度达到55度。
吸光多、生热多是黑色幕布的优点，可黑色幕布也有致命的缺陷。
正常有光的时候，升温也快；没光的时候，降温也快。但怎么能把这个温度留住？我们就想到了水。
水，
对，
水升温快，散热慢，还便宜，是理想的储热材料。认准了水，于彦国接下来就要确定用水量了。因为它的温室占地将近1亩，水少了就不顶用了。
你往这儿看，这里是一个水池子，蓄水这一块50公分宽，50厘米宽，就蓄水25吨。
25吨水跟一块黑色幕布，是于彦国设计的一对黄金组合。于彦国的设想是，白天黑色幕布吸收阳光并产生热量，然后把里面的水加热。等到晚上，水慢慢的释放热量来给温室供暖。
阳光足的时候，在1点钟左右，我们使仪器测，表层这个温度达到55度，时间持续3个小时，就可以以底下这25吨水升温到40度。这个通过一组管道泵，叫管道循环泵，把这个水呢打到上面，这有个水管，这个水管顶上呢扎了无数个小眼，大约5到10公分一个眼。在管道泵的作用下，它是急剧的往出喷水， 喷出这个水沿着这个内表层的内壁往下流，它就会把表层的温度吸收，在反复的作用循环下，水总在流，就把这温度吸收，阳光照到这个膜上的温度全被水吸收，这里温度就急剧的上升。
到了晚上，这20多吨40多度的热水就会慢慢的向温室释放热量，起到给温室升温的作用。
去年的1月份，哈尔滨最寒冷的时候，外温达到零下35度，下午4点钟盖棉被的时候，这个水温达到了40度，室内温度是22度。到第二天的早晨，16小时等于接棉被的时候，这个水温会降到26度，空气温度达到18度，也就不用烧煤了。
温室里的空气温度最低18摄氏度，要说不低了，可于彦国还不满意。
空气加温了，再给土壤加温，空气往上走，冷空气往下，下边凉，上边热。
空气温度高并不等于地温高。要想种黄瓜这类喜温的蔬菜，地温必须得在15度以上。可问题就在于，这18度的空气还不足以让地温升到15度。怎么才能保证温室的地温也在15度以上呢？于彦国只是在水循环上做了一个小小的改动，就实现了种黄瓜的目的。
在垄台上有这么2根水管，这2根水管里的水是和水墙里头畜牧水墙里的水是连着的。用个管道循环泵，直接把水就通过一个循环，就搁这个垄上走一圈啊，走一圈。每根垄上都2根这个管，最后回到水袋里，就把水袋里的温度提出来，蓄热到土上，给土增温。
把热水管放在垄上，热水就能直接给土壤加热，避免了空气给土壤加热的热量流失。于彦国的温室里，只要有阳光，地温就没低于过15度，种起黄瓜这样的喜温蔬菜就放心多了。更巧妙的是，于彦国的这套水循环系统是一招2用，冬天能给温室加温，在夏天也可以用来给温室降温。
So today yesterday I received videos showing another type, but by comparing this new one, this really is nothing new. I just play the same card, thinking the north wall is important. Anyway, so we like to show this video.
看看我来到这个地方，啊，这里啊，气候温暖湿润，环境优美。看这两边的植物，看这个花，朋友们能不能看出这是什么树花？这个花我认识，这个是茶花。看茶花开的，这地方温暖，这不温暖呢，这茶树花啊开不了。看它开的，看看这些绿植，这是南方的植物啊，这我也说不清，这都叫什么植物。这到处啊都开的鲜花，这里像不像三亚？这个树我家有一棵，呀，这个是什么树？哼，这是花啊还是树叶啊？这说不明白了。这还一棵啊，这个我知道，这是金桔，这是柠檬。看看这柠檬树，这些植物啊也说不出来的名了，就走马观花的看一遍吧。再看看这水，哎呀，水里鱼这么多，都在这桥底下呢。朋友们，看看这是什么地方？能不能猜出来？我们现在东北啊，外面冰天雪地，现在气温呐零下10几度，外面已经非常寒冷了。但是呢，我们还有这么个温暖如春的地方。这就是我们呐一个农民通过自己的努力发明出了这个墨水墙技术。这是墨水墙技术呢又一个应用，就把这个墨水墙应用啊又迈进了一大步。现在这个温室大棚达到了这种程度，看看这个像不像东北的小白鸭？这座棚啊，这是去年冬天呢头一场冰雨，这很多大棚啊倒塌了，这个大棚也没能幸免。 又经过重新的建设，现在呢这个棚啊已经基本成型了。由于发明这堵墙的专利，吸收阳光取暖，不用煤不用电，无费用取暖，取得了成功。这座棚这就叫做艾维庄园1号，现在马上呢就要对外营业了。各种植物生机勃勃，你看水下的鱼在自由的游荡，实现了原来的设想，鱼菜共生。走，出外边看看，这外面现在是冰天雪地呀，啊，这外面零下10几度。这座棚啊，我就在这座棚里。这座棚啊是艾维庄园1号棚，这面呢这是艾维庄园2号棚。刚才出去转一圈，朋友看看外面冰天雪地，这室内呢，这却是温暖如春，气候宜人，景色宜人。现在呢，经过多年努力啊，零排放、零污染、零费用，不管你信不信，它已经变成现实。现在一共是7座棚。
So basically, it's nothing really new. Even they show the black northern wall, but it's good that they incorporate aquaponics, because aquaponic give us lots of water, right? We know the water is the thermal mass, so we need it. So literally, it's a Chinese greenhouse, right? A China greenhouse. We know that greenhouse, this infrared imaging shows, what's the situation for the greenhouse, right? When you have the sun, clear day, right, during the day, then we know the hottest area is the peak of the greenhouse, right? Because we have so much solar thermal gain that heat up the air, and the hot air, rises right to the top. So that's obvious. But at night, a clear night after the sun set, then we know this imaging shows clearly that the ground and the area slightly above the ground, that's the relative hot area, right? So we know that's because the ground has the highest capacity to contain the solar thermal energy, right? And the bottom left, this is the cloudy day, right? When we don't have much sunshine, right? The cloud block the sun, so we don't have much solar gain. So that's indicate where is the hottest area? That's the ground, because the ground, is the main area for contain the solar thermal energy, right? That's the ground is the heat reservoir in a sense, right? The water in the soil is the thermal mass, right? And it also shows that the northern wall has uh, some capacity to provide thermal energy, but it's not a lot, right? It's smaller area, and also it's not as hotter than the ground. So, and that explain, right? And the cloudy night, even better. It shows even better, right? That it's the ground, is the heat battery, right? The thermal battery. The northern wall, again, compared to the ground, is the capacity is really small. I would say 20% at the most. Yeah. So this imaging, infrared imaging, is very important. Help us to understand. It's not the northern wall. So anyone who play around the northern wall, you put all your effort in the wrong spot, right? Because that's not a major factor, right? So I like to say that again. And for that reason, we don't use opaque northern wall. We just open up. Solar roof means you can open up the entire roof, right? let the light coming in everywhere from all direction, right? All angles, because we have lots of thermal mass, the water, right, to absorb the solar energy and contain it. Yeah. So the water is the best, um, yeah, thermal battery, uh, for the solar thermal energy, right? That's the idea, and we use a double layer cavity, to form this cavity so that we can either, don't fill it with anything. Basically, it has air already, right? Air automatically fills in, and if we want to capture solar thermal energy, we can either fill with bubbles or the spray water, in the cavity, so it form thin film, on both sides, north side and the south side, and then the water will absorb solar thermal energy, right? If we fill it with bubbles, even better, right? Because bubble is the dispersed form of solar thermal energy. Yeah. So anyway, there is mechanism, when to do what, right? I'm not going to get into the detail, but you can imagine, right? It's something that we've been preaching for a long time. So anyway, this is the most recent design. It's only a 5 by 5 meter greenhouse, parapet greenhouse, and it's a low cost to make, low cost to run, because mainly it's a proactive solar. Yeah, so all the other ones, they are passive solar house greenhouse, but we're proactive because we decide, there is a smart mechanism to decide when to fill bubbles, when to spray waters, when do nothing, right? Just let it sit. Yeah. So, it's pretty easy. It just, the bubbles are very light, won't add any trouble to the roof. So that's it. And next, I'm going to show the other thing, especially for greenhouses in the cold area. Basically, that there's a danger that the heavy snow, can create a lot of load on the greenhouse. I mean, not on our greenhouse, because our greenhouse have the snow melting mechanism built in. But I'm going to show, that greenhouse we just, saw. Actually, they had a terrible accident.
看看这座新建的大棚，这就是艾维技术新建的这种棚，这里已经都建成型了，但是这个棚啊让雪压塌了，这里今年就没利用上，有今年呢它里头都利用上了，它这里这些设备都在里面，都压在里头，来年开春啊都得重建。看这家，这几排也是草莓大棚，这也没顶住啊，这极端天气的破坏，这全部倒塌了，这损失巨大呀。这座几千万建设的大型阳光温室，也在这场大雪中轰然倒塌了，无法修复，彻底报废了。你看看这形状，好，这座棚也塌了，这是新建的棚呢，今年一把没利用上。这场雪呢造成的灾害
So you see,
造太大了。
that snow, that load, right? If you don't have this snow melting mechanism built in, and a snow, just one heavy snow, will destroy everything. Yeah. So, this is sad. Yeah. Anyway, so that's why we
看这座
we
新建的大棚，
I'm going to stop this. Okay, there. So Yeah, this is it. Then I'm gonna show another one.
这个是哀乐庄园2号棚，这个棚啊，这是莫志强大棚第4代，莫志强最新的技术、最新的想法全用在这个棚上了。这个棚才是莫志强大棚的最新型棚，核心技术全在这个棚上了。这很多朋友啊，要详细啊了解，想让我详细给介绍这个棚。这个棚啊，我再说一遍，这个是个2层棚。你看这个棚背啊，就在这个2层膜里头了。所以说呢，不管刮风下雪呀，这个棚背啊不受那个风雪的影响。你看现在这个2层棚，这棚内啊温度太高，2层棚已经打开了，这全是自动的。就现在1层棚上面也全部能打开。现在这个效果是没说的了，我也不用介绍了。你看这里的球长的，所以说这个棚的温度现在是没问题，不用煤，不用电，不用任何取暖设备，只用这座墨质墙吸收阳光取暖，就使这个棚啊达到这种效果。今年的墨质墙啊，这又有改进。这墨质墙啊，这就装有水袋，这个水袋啊，在温度啊达到一定的时候，自动冲水，进行呢存储这个水啊，夜间释放。现在呢，这地下都走的排管，提高这个地温的温度。这些技术的改进呐，更加呀适合植物的种植了。现在这是今年呢刚试验成功，这又开始更新了。这探索的脚步啊，始终没有停止过。现在这个墨质墙，现在这又有改进了。面上是这个墨质墙板，但是它是一体的。它后面呢有水箱，能够储存，把储存的热量能储存起来。温度啊，最高能达到60度。
Really like, the guy in Harbin, his greenhouse basically using the northern wall and coat it black and use that. They think the black body absorbs, solar thermal energy better. Yes, better than white wall, but not better than water. Water is the best medium. So for that reason, we don't build greenhouse this way. We simply open all four sides of the greenhouse perimeter to let all the light come in, right? And through the air, through bubbles, through water. So, and then, that's the easiest way, don't need to be so troublesome. So that's it. Anyway, so even this best greenhouse, in their view, is basically just nothing new to us, right? It's good. I'm not, we should say it's good. It proves at least, we could rely on the solar thermal energy from the sun to heat up, greenhouses, right? But how do you do it? That's the matter, right? Yeah, because they have to use blanket, right? We use bubbles. They have to use northern wall. They think the black northern wall is critical, but we demonstrate it's not critical. I mean, the capacity of this solar battery is only 20% at the most. It's mainly the ground, right? It's mainly the ground doing the work, you know. So for that reason, we use ground, right? And we explained that our bubble tech basically a combination of water-based solar and air-based solar, so we call it bubble solar, bubble-based solar, because bubbles contains both liquid and air, right? So the liquid conducts heat, but the air insulate, right? The air stop heat transfer. So anyway, and then as a result, that we don't have this huge swing of temperature. The air temperature won't swing up and down so drastically like what we see here, right? So I already explained. So the blue line shows the outside air temperature. The orange shows the inside air temperature. Um, and we see the inside air temperature swing along with the sunrise and sunset, right? When we have the sun, we have the solar gain, and then the temperature swing up to 30 degree. And this curve shows the greenhouse has to open up the seating, open to let air comes in. Otherwise, it will be 40 degree, right? Too hot. Yeah, this is what we said. We said it many times. If you do everything with single layer or with blanket, whatever, then you're gonna have this problem. When we have the solar gain, we have then the air temperature is too high, right? Then after sunset, then the temperature drop down too fast. So it just swing up and down drastically. And because they don't have the enough thermal mass, right, to control the air temperature. So the red line shows that if we incorporate our way of doing things, then the curve is relative steady. Yeah, the temperature still swing along with the sun, but not as much. Yeah, so it's controlled and within a small range. Okay. So anyway, also we have these, because we have double layer, we fill water, we fill the cavity with bubbles, or we let the water flow in on top of the inner surface, right, creating a thin film. And because of that, heat transfer can take place at at an interface, right, of the inner layer. So hot air, when hot air contact the underneath inner layer, right? It condense, right? We end up having clean water, distilled clean water, and then during the process, the heat transferred to the other side, which is the soap liquid, and the soap liquid get heated, right? So in at night, so instead of beside us absorbing solar thermal energy from the sun, the soap water can also have exchange from the hot air inside, and then move the thermal energy, from air to liquid, and then goes to the reservoir. So the soap reservoir becomes the thermal battery, becomes the yeah uh, the place, to contain the solar thermal energy. So that's it. Anyway, so that's yeah, because someone sent me these videos, so I like to comment and to use it as an example, right? Indeed, that's a proof, right? We can rely on the sun to warm up the greenhouse. But depending how you do it, right? There's a better way, there is a easier way, then there's a hard way. Yeah. The hard way costs money, it costs time, and pay the price even being crushed by the heavy snow. So that's why we like people. If you want to do greenhouse, take a look at what we design. Build a greenhouse the parapet way, build a greenhouse the solar roof way, and then you'll be much happier than those who spend a lot of time, money, time, like even the price being crushed by heavy snow. Anyway, yeah, so much for today's comment on this greenhouse. Um, yeah, we encourage people to think, before taking actions. Yeah, because if you take the wrong action, it takes a long time to make a good result. Okay, so much for now.